program is brought to you in part by Just Results Weight Loss Center in Berlin, Connecticut. And yes, Grant Sanborn, this Corvette looks kind of nice. Tell me about the 1966?
1966 coupe. Got the L79 engine in it, which is the bigger horsepower 327. Standard shift. Just had it all repainted and in new interior, and so it's running good.
Running good. Now, is it a solid lifter motor?
Yeah, it's a solid lifter motor with a high lift cam, which gives it a little more horsepower than the basic 327.
Oh yeah. So it's a ground pounder.
It'll go. It'll go.
Now I got to ask you, the wheels, are they Corvette wheels, or are they knockoffs, or what are they?
These are not the original Kelsey Hayes wheels that they put on these cars as an option, but they look just like it. They are true knockoff wheels, but they're not the original Kelsey Hayes wheels.
When I saw them, I thought they were original. And then I said, geez, to keep them that long is not easy.
No, it's not to keep them, but they make these aftermarket parts now, some of them that look just like the original parts. But you want to keep them original as you possibly can, but sometimes you got to go for outside.
So it is a 4-speed, right?
It is a 4-speed.
How about the rear? Is anything different there?
No, it's a basic stock 336 rear end that runs well down the road at a lot of different speeds.
Yeah, so you're enjoying life.
This is the car I've always wanted to own, and since I was about 18, and just bought it about a year and a half ago, and just enjoying life.
I'll tell you, the 63 to 7s are really my favorite cars. They are really special.
Yeah, the C2s are my favorite.
Yeah.
The first generation are really nice looking cars. The C2s had a little more technology in them. They ride a little smoother and got a lot of good horsepower in them. And they run down the road really well.
Now tell me, where do you call home, Grant?
I'm in from East Haddam.
Okay, so it's not far away.
No, it's only about a 20-minute drive, and a nice morning like this is good to get out.
Is this the first time you've been here?
I was at the Klingberg Festival probably about 15 years ago, just as a spectator. But great show here. Great work they do.
Oh, yeah. Mark, great guy. Let me tell you, he does a beautiful thing.
Yeah. It's a nice organization. Nice to come out and benefit the organization.
Absolutely. Well, we're certainly glad you're here, and we hope to see you in the future.
Oh, we'll be around. Thank you very
Grant,
much.
thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Excellent, beautiful. And yes, we got a beautiful 1972 Mustang Special Edition. Now tell me, Bob, how'd you get this car?
I found this car advertised down on Long Island back in 1996. Went down to look at it, and among several Mustangs I was looking at, this was the rarest one. I knew it was a special edition, and I wanted to bring it home and restore it. So I've owned it since '96. The car was originally sold in Atlanta, made its way up to New York over the years. It didn't look like this when I bought it, unfortunately. So I spent 14 years restoring it, and now it's been on the road for, I think, 12 seasons. And this is my favorite Mustang.
So this is a 351 Cleveland?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
This has been restored exactly as it came from the factory.
I was so impressed when I looked under the hood of this car. I mean, it looks exactly like the day.
Yeah, that was the intention, to try to keep the car as original as possible, being a special edition. This was made for only 5 months in 1972 to commemorate the 1972 U.S. Olympic teams.
That's correct. Yeah.
So,
I mean, you don't see them often, I'll put it that way.
No, the only time I've had another one at the same show I was at was in Carlisle at the Ford Nationals.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they're pretty rare cars.
Where do you call home, Bob?
I live in Bristol.
Oh, yeah, close by, yeah.
Yep, this is a show that's close for me, yes.
Yeah.
So.
Is this the only Mustang you have?
No, I've got two others. I've got a 1990, what they call a 7-Up convertible.
Yep.
And I've got a 1999 GT that I bought new.
Oh, wow.
So this is my favorite one, though. I love to drive this car.
Yeah, I don't blame it. The car is gorgeous. I don't know who painted it, but it looks like the day, too, because, some of these cars are done too good. You don't see no orange peel or nothing.
Right, yeah. No, I painted it myself.
It looks like the day, I tell you.
Yeah, that's what I tried to do, was keep it as original as possible, a little bit of orange peel, and just like back in the day.
Oh, yes. Some of them, I mean, they make them like glass, but they weren't like that, you know?
No, you'd be disappointed if you paid to have one restored like it came out of the factory originally, I think.
That's right.
So
The wheels and everything are beautiful. You did a heck of a job.
the wheels and everything are original. They're reproductions, but this is the way the car came. This car came with both the A and the B package. This is the B package, which came with the 15-inch Magnum 500s and competition suspension and a few other goodies.
Oh, you lucked out when you bought this car.
I did. Yeah, I knew it was rare when I found it and wanted to bring it home. So
I don't blame you. I mean, the car is really nice. And
appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I don't see them that often, believe me. You know, you see the older ones and the newer ones. I myself recently had 5 old cars, like, you know, the 80s, and
Oh yeah, okay.
we
Yeah, those
raced
are
one,
very
matter
popular.
of fact. And originally, I had bought a new 65 myself.
Oh, okay, beautiful.
That's where I got in my blood.
I bet you wish you still had it, right?
Oh God, yes. It was a fastback too.
Oh boy, yeah, that's a keeper,
Oh yeah.
definitely.
I wish I could find one. Oh man.
Oh, I know. Yeah, we all wish we'd kept everything we had over the years, you know.
That's it.
So
Well, I want to thank you for your interview, and we hope to see you here every year.
you sure will. Thank you very
Bob.
much.
Great job.
Okay.
And yes, Michael Donnelly, you brought another car here that really got me going. A Jensen Healy
Jensen Interceptor.
Interceptor.
Yes,
Oh wow. I am impressed.
it's
Tell me about this thing.
it's a 1974 Jensen Interceptor 3. It's the last year they made these cars. They're powered by a Chrysler 440, and its nickname is the Gentleman's Express because it's a very comfortable car. It drives like a sports car, and it's very fast.
440.
Yeah.
Wow, this thing is a ground pounder.
It is, and we've made some modifications to the engine as well that gives it a little more oomph.
Now, is the transmission rear end American too, or no?
Yes. Yeah, all American drivetrain, and the rest is British engineering.
Did you restore this car?
We did for a client.
Yeah. Beautiful. I'll tell you, the paint job. Wow.
Thank you very much. It was a 2-year restoration.
2 year.
2 years, and the client's very happy.
I'm going to tell you, son, I got to catch this disease, I like to call it.
Which disease is that?
Collecting cars.
Yeah, me too. I've got a few, but not the ones I want yet.
No. I'm an old Mustang guy. I can't believe to this day I still ain't found one, you know. I had a brand new fastback when I was a kid, 65.
65 fastback. I love those cars.
They do. And they're hard to come by, though. I mean, when they got them, boy, they don't want to let them go.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to come down and catch you in your showroom down there. I'm sure there's something there that'll appeal to me.
Yeah, and I think the best thing that you might experience at our shop is the craftsmanship. Meet the people that actually do these restorations.
Rubbing the metal, huh?
That's it. Metal fabrication, paint, everything.
Yeah, well, we absolutely got to do that. And I want to thank you as usual. You got me skunked here, I'll tell you. Boy, you bring some interesting vehicles.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and we'll be stopping by.
Great.
Take care. Yes, and we got this beautiful Mustang with Scott Gessner. And tell me about this car, Scott.
Well, I've been in the automotive business for 40 plus years, and one day back in 1980, one of our good customers called and asked for an oil cap. He says, "It's for a 66 Mustang." And he said, "Do you know anybody who wants to buy one?" I said, "You shouldn't have any trouble with that. I had just read a book on them." And he said, "Well, this one's unusual." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, it's a V8, and it's got a weird radio in it." And I said, "What do you mean a weird radio?" He says, "It's an AM radio, and it's got an 8-track on it, but there's no FM." I said, "Wow, that's factory. That's rare." He says, "Yeah, and it's got a weird-looking interior. It's got horses all over it." And I said, "Oh, it's got the pony interior." And he said, "I guess." And then he said, "Oh, yeah, and it's got factory air." And I said, "I'll be right down." So $650 later, I own myself a Mustang.
Oh wow.
So we-
That air is rare. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah, cools half your body.
Oh yeah. I mean, these cars. I'll tell you, they were just unbelievable. You know. When you when you bought one brand new, you didn't know at the time what you had.
Welcome for Dr. Steve Jarrell.
Thank you. And
Well,
welcome,
I got it
everyone. We're so
down
glad
the-
you're here
down the
for our
line a little
Cars
bit,
and
so I didn't
Coffee
experience the new
Kids
part.
event.
But I remember
This is
riding in
something
one at the
that
World's
belongs
Fair in
in
New
a
York
tradition. In
back
fact,
in '64.
This year marks our 30th anniversary.
So,
of
Yeah,
Vintage
I
Motorcar
remember they
Festival.
debuted at the
So
World's
glad to
Fair.
have you
That was
here
special.
and to have
Yep.
your support.
So
It
it's
means a great
I've
deal
always
to
liked
us.
Mustangs
More
ever since.
importantly,
Thus
it
the
means a
shirt.
great deal to
But,
the children and families we
Yeah.
serve throughout
It's like a
Central
cult,
Connecticut.
I call it.
Oh yeah.
Klingberg Family
And
Centers has been
At
in existence since
at one time I
1903.
worked while I was
Currently
restoring
have
this.
over 20
I
programs
was
that provide a variety
I
of
went
services
to look for a
to
vendor, and there was
families,
a
including
store
special
called Classic
education,
Mustang,
foster care,
which I got a lot of
variety
stuff from.
therapy services,
I,
community services,
got very friendly with the
funds that
owner,
are
and then I went to
generated
work
by
for
this
him.
show are
So I got to be
absolutely
pretty
critical
fluent in
to
Mustangs,
helping
but
us
I
meet
also
the
met
needs
my
of
future
residents and
wife.
families.
So
we
this thing
really
has
appreciate
had a lot of
your
control
help
over
and
my
your
life
help as
over
well.
the years, but the
And now
interior's
pleased to
original,
introduce the Grand
headliner's
Marshal of today's
original,
event, Wayne
vinyl top's
Carini.
original.
As most
Wow.
of you know,
So
Wayne is the host
the
of Motor
quarter
Trend's
panels,
Chasing
when I bought it,
Classic
had no
Cars.
rust in them.
This very popular program
But it did have some
follows
rust in
Wayne
other
as he
areas,
travels
areas
around the
that we
world in
repaired.
search of truly classic
And
vintage
like I said,
vehicles.
we've had this
Wayne
for
learned the
42
art
years,
of vintage
and I just had so much
car
fun with it over the years.
restoration,
Yeah,
But I
they're-
like
working
all
at the
old cars,
side
not
of
just.
I mean, they're a fun
So
car, you know,
please help
and
me
they
welcome
went pretty
our
good
Grand
for the size of the motor.
The
They
man who
went
has
pretty
been our
good too.
Grand
You know?
Marshal
Oh
for
yeah,
countless years, Mr. Wayne
it goes
Carini.
very good, and I've taken it just about everywhere. It's gone to Maine several times. Gets an average of about 20 miles a gallon, and that's with a V8. So can't complain.
Oh, they're good cars, believe me. I really want to thank you for your interview. Have you been here before?
Oh yeah, I've been to several of the Klingberg shows. It's a great organization.
Now, those wheels, are they knockoffs or?
Those are back in the early 80s, a company called Dallas Mustang reproduced them from the original dies. So that was the first thing I had to do was buy those wheels. But they are factory style, although reproduction.
You did a good job, and we're glad you're here, and I hope I see you every year.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Scott. And yes, we got a beautiful 1935 five-window coupe. Paul Urinsik, this car is gorgeous. Tell me about it.
Thank you. It's a 35 Ford, 5-window. It's been restored over quite a few years. Got the original motor, original interior and stuff. It's a good running car. Probably the only difference is hydraulic brakes on it. Other than that, it's all original.
Now, this, does that have an 85 motor? That what they call it, 85?
Yes, it's the 85 horse, 221 cubic inch. Yep.
Yep.
That's what it has.
Now, you say it's got juice brakes, or did you say?
Yes, hydraulic brakes rather than the mechanical.
Let me tell you, I had a 36 with mechanical brakes. You literally had to put your feet out the door to stop it.
Well, that's why I was looking for hydraulic brakes. I thought I was a little bit leery of the mechanicals.
Yeah, yeah. I know, beautiful car. So you restored it yourself?
No, I bought it this way.
Yeah.
I bought it this way. A little too expensive to restore. So I let somebody else take that expense.
Hey, you know what? In today's scheme of things, this is the best investment you can make.
Sure it is. Cars are fun too. Money in the bank, you look at your spreadsheet. This is a bank book, you drive around and you have fun.
And have fun
That's
and
right.
hold its value.
That's right, they'll hold their value. Because if somebody don't want this one original, a high rodder will want to cut it up. So this one should sell someday.
Don't worry, you'll not be sorry you got this car.
Right. No, I'm gonna enjoy it. I've been enjoying it for a while. It's a good running car.
Now, where do you call home, Paul?
Berlin, Connecticut.
Berlin? Oh, yeah, that's where we are. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be from the Britain. Right down the hill from here, I came to the first Klingberg show that they had. I've been coming ever since.
I actually grew up myself in New Britain. I moved to Berlin about 10 years old. I live right next to Martin Russell hot dogs over there.
Okay, yeah, I still go to Martin Russell.
Yeah, I still go there too.
Oh yeah, that's a Britain staple for sure.
Got that right.
Right.
Well, we certainly want to wish you luck with the car and hope you come to see us every year here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. You were great.
Thank you.
Take care, buddy.
All right.
And yes, Brad,
How you
back
doing?
to the future.
Back to the future. That's right. We're going to take this baby to 88 miles an hour. You're going to see some serious stuff.
Wow.
So
Well,
we got a 1981 DeLorean here.
1981.
Yep. Found in Old Lyme, Connecticut in a barn. Just sitting there waiting for us. Actually, it kind of found us. Me and my wife, Courtney, who's somewhere, said, this must be our density. So we bought it.
I'll tell you, I am impressed how you keep it.
Oh, you know what I do? I go in here. It's the only car in the world you can actually clean with Windex. That's right, and a
Wow.
microfiber.
And that's it.
That's it. You just take some Windex, spray it on, wipe it off, and all the fingers go away, all your fingerprints.
I never knew that.
Yep,
Wow.
it's just like your refrigerator, you know?
my
Actually,
ki-
a lot of people don't know this. Windex, if you ever want to clean your refrigerator and your stainless steel appliances, this is the best way to do it. Trust me, I know.
Is a cleaning fanatic.
She can trust me because I got a car that's all stainless steel. So keeping those fingerprints off. There was only one advantage though. Back in COVID days when we did car shows, I knew exactly where everyone touched my car and know where not to touch because you could see every fingerprint. So you know, it's like COVID detection. We didn't even know it. Little added feature.
So how long have you had this car, Brad?
We've had it since 2015. Yep. And yeah, it's been great. We love it. Me and my wife are big Back to the Future fans. We got all the props. We got the flux capacitor. We've got the camcorder, the speedometer that goes to 88 miles an hour because the actual speedometer only goes to 85 miles an hour. So if you want to travel in time, because this is a time machine, you have to go to 88 miles an hour and you need 1.21 gigawatts of power. And with the way things are going these days, it's going to be tougher and tougher to get that 1.2 gigawatts of power. So I have to use trash. So I have a Mr. Fusion. You put trash in the Mr. Fusion, and then you're going off in time.
Wow, you got this down pat, man.
Well, you know what? Remember during COVID we ran out of toilet paper? Yeah. People would always drive up. People were like, "What time you going?" I'm going back to 1988 so I can get some toilet paper.
Oh my dear.
Yeah, I always had some in the back to show people too.
How's it run, buddy? How's it
It
run?
runs great. It runs actually fantastic. This car's got a little bad rap. People say it's unreliable and all that, but nah, trust me. Knock on stainless. It's been it's been great.
One thing, it's certainly not going to rust.
No, it's not going to rust. It's actually, good old John DeLorean was really trying to make a car of the future. I think that's one of the reasons why they took him out, because his car would last forever. This is a 1981 car. Look at it.
It's like
clear
new.
as it's just like new, You just take some steel, what do you call Scotch-Brite pads, get rid of any scratches, use this, clean it, that's it.
Got aluminum wheels.
Yep, aluminum wheels, and yeah, they're great. And the actual undercarriage, the frame and everything, is actually coated with an epoxy, so it won't rust as well.
Wow.
Yeah, he really thought of all the details. Well, actually, it's kind of funny, too, because it's got mirrors that fold in, with the famous gull wing doors here.
Yep.
Actually, check this out. You don't make a door like this. Now that's a door. And then you got the mirrors fold in. And a lot of people go, how do you fit that in your garage? But it's actually got lower coverage than most of these cars. If you notice, when you actually open it, it's like not a lot of door, not like a normal door.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah, it's a great little car. We love it.
Well,
And like I said, you get this baby to 88 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious
going
stuff.
back to the future.
Going back to the future.
I can't get over this, I'll tell you. Good investment. I mean, in this day and age,
Yep.
you will not be disappointed. This car is going to increase in value.
Well, we looked at our 401k these days, and we're like going, damn, we're just losing money hand and foot. So might as well put it into something and have some fun. This is our investment.
Good job,
Great.
let me tell you.
Yep. I'm sure it'll pay off as long as we don't get in an accident.
Oh, yeah, you don't want that.
No, we drive safe.
Yeah.
It's actually a standard 5-speed. It's got a manual steering, which is kind of weird.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of tough when you're going, slow parking lots and stuff. But there's an auto.
Once you
steering
get rolling,
upgrade.
it's good. Right?
Yeah, it's fine. And then of course the trunk here, you open up the trunk, it's in the front. The engine's in the rear.
Yeah, We'll have to show our cameraman the engine at some point.
Yeah, yeah,
Because I'd
absolutely.
like to see what it is. But I want to thank you for having the interview with us.
Well, thank you.
You were great. And we
What's
hope
your name
to,
again?
Larry.
Larry. Nice to
Brad,
meet you,
we
Larry.
hope to see you here every year.
Oh, we come every year.
All right,
we
thank
actually
you, buddy.
won today.
Actually, you won an award?
Yep.
Oh, look at
Director's Trophy.
that. Oh, Director's Trophy.
Yep.
Wow.
We never win awards. People usually give us awards for like best comedy car, best movie car, but this is actually a real award. We're like
impressed.
really excited.
We're going to have to take a shot at that, Billy.
Yeah, thanks to Klingberg. Awesome. We appreciate that. We've been coming for years, and we actually got an award this time.
Great
so.
job, Brad.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You were excellent. And yes, we have Eric Weiss with this beautiful Comet. It looks like all original, too. Tell me about this car.
It's pretty much original. It was a barn find. We weren't looking for this, but about 1994, my dad and I saw an ad in the classifieds in New Britain. We went out just for the heck of it to look at it, and we found this car. It had been sitting in a garage for about 24 years, and it was just immaculate condition. It only had about 14,000 miles on it when we found it.
Oh, wow.
But due to sitting, we had to go through all the systems in the car, all the fluids, and the interior under the hood we kept original. Unfortunately, the paint was just too far gone, so we did have to repaint the exterior. But other than that, it's all stock.
Now, is that a 170 or there's two different motors, right?
Right, in 61 you had a choice of a 144 or 170.
Yeah.
This still has the 170. It was kind of a pretty much basic car. It still has vacuum wipers and a tube radio.
Yeah, I remember that motor like it was yesterday. I actually had a 65 Comet. It was a 6-cylinder. I had bought in Massachusetts that had that kind of mileage, too.
Yeah,
Same thing.
it was just amazing.
You know, the only thing was wrong was the valves were stuck a little, and you know, and the brakes needed to be done.
That's exactly what
Great car, though, I tell you.
It's fun. It's different. These were really throwaway cars at the time.
Yeah.
So to find one that's still together is amazing.
It is. It is. I bet you still gets good gas mileage.
It sure does.
You know, back in the day, you didn't even think about it. Gas was like 30 cents a gallon.
Yeah,
You know?
right. But no, it's a fun car.
Where do you call home, Eric?
Berlin, Connecticut.
Wow, that's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
My hometown.
There you go.
Well, we want to thank you for your interview and
Thank you for your
hope
interest.
to see you here every year.
Yeah, thank you again.
Good car. Good
Thank you.
job.
Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, there was some interesting cars here at Klingberg, and believe me, it's always a fun time to come here. As we come to the conclusion of the show, I want to thank everybody for watching and tune in again next week on Racing Action Today. And thank you, Bill Majak, for your excellent camera work. This program is brought to you in part by R2 Pictures and real estate broker Larry Mangello. And yes, we also want to thank Flavor Queen for all their help and support, and look to do a little more things with them in the future. Thank you. Have a great weekend.